Alright, so I'm gonna get started with the Intel Exchange quest that I picked up. The first one is the disturbance caused by theft. And it looks like I have to go talk to the people in the Curatorium of Secrets for it. The per Parapapastis Circle case. If I'm remembering it correctly, it was never solved. That's right, the caravan's goods were stolen. The prime suspect not only denied everything, but also beat a man to death before fleeing. Word is that both the suspect and the man he killed were pirates, and that they'd been companions for a decade without any sort of trouble. It's sad to think how things ended up. But Boss Nep, this sort of thing happens to nod-krai all the time. Huh, just because it's common doesn't mean it's trivial. You should know, clues often hide in the smallest of details. Yehoda, go and ask the messengers. They should be able to provide you with a wealth of overlooked information. On it, Boss Neff. Leave it to me. Seems like only yesterday there were plenty of bounties going at the flagship. Now there's only one left. Apparently, that's all down to Traveler, but even he hasn't been able to crack this last one. Well, there really aren't any leads. But just because something isn't written on the bounty board doesn't mean it doesn't exist. What's this? A sudden flash of inspiration? I'm going to ask Lazek. With all my experience, I should be able to get something useful out of him. I'll leave it to you then. You can count on me, Boss Neff. Phoebe. Kirika, Harem, how's life been treating you? What's this now? Small talk? From you? This isn't your style, kid. You looking for info or for us to go acquire it? Ugh, ignore him. Thanks to you, life's the same as always. So, what's up? Something we can help you with? Yep, wanted to ask about that incident with the Peripatetic Circle. It was a big deal at the time. They say the thief was never caught. Well, that depends on who you think that was the thief. That Hark fellow who was under suspicion was adamant it wasn't him. He made a big fuss, and in the ensuing fight, he accidentally killed a fellow caravan member called Jahani. I heard they were originally crewmates on a pirate ship. There was an accident and the ship sank. Went down with most of the crew. After that, the two of them signed on with the Peripatetic Circle. After killing Jihani, Hark fled the scene. Everyone was shocked by what happened. They were old crewmates, and Hark had always had his back before. Apparently, Hark ended up in the northern part of Lempo Isle, still making trouble. Gotta say, I never feel like I can let my guard down when I pass through that area. I'll say, no other messengers dare take that isolated path through the passage. They do everything they can to avoid the danger as they imagine it. Not that it helps. Spot on. That said, I haven't heard anything about him recently, so maybe he's gone somewhere new to let the heat die down. The way you tell it, sounds like plenty of people think he's the thief. Of course, and not without reason. Not long after the goods went missing, he was in the flagship buying rounds and treating people to meals. What's more, he was boasting about sealing a deal with some big trade partner, claiming it was a big shot in the caravan and getting bonuses up the wazoo. To hear him talk, the future was rosy. But, according to people in the circle, none of that had anything to do with him. If he didn't seal the partnership, then the bonuses he was boasting about had to be a lie, which means he must have gotten the money from someplace else. That's all hearsay. But yeah, it's not hard to see why people would blame the former pirate when things go missing. I won't lie. His history played a big part in the accusations. But don't forget, Juhani was a pirate too, and his attitude was a whole lot different. When faced with suspicion, Hark didn't hesitate to point the finger at Juhani. He said he's seen him pilfering the goods with his own eyes, bit by bit. He made sure to loudly speculate that there might be evidence at Juhani's residence in Nasha Town. Juhani swore it wasn't him, and no one else was buying it either. Let me guess, they all thought Hark had planted evidence at Juhani's place. Exactly. Even though they never found any evidence of Hark selling the stolen goods afterward, he did kill Juhani and then flee the scene. The whole thing's one giant mess. It still feels like something's missing. You're not wrong, kid. Rusty metal doesn't stick together out of kindness or concern, but out of fear. Fear isn't fire. It can't weld two parts into one whole. The persistent picket circles a symbol that binds those without a home, but a rivet made from flawed iron will never hold. It's destined to break the moment it's tested. Corrosion doesn't set in overnight. I wish I understood what that meant. Nonetheless, I feel sorry for the caravan leader. The participant circle's known for not asking its members their backgrounds. I think he's saying that if someone's a rotten apple to start with, it's not going to make the other apples in the better batch fresher if they're all rotten apples. Something to that regard. They're willing to give fresh starts to those with dark and unspoken secrets. Apparently, for the last decade, Hark was treated just like any other member. So why now? Why did Hark suddenly return to a life of crime after 10 years of the straight and narrow? It can't have been easy to gain a fresh start. Why would he throw all of that away? If it were me, who knows? Maybe he was never really on the straight and narrow. Maybe he was up to his old tricks the whole time. He just never got caught. Or maybe he just sensed the time was right and he wanted to get rid of Juhani. Spend enough time on the streets and you'll hear all sorts of rumor. Everyone has their own theory they're clinging to. Besides, it's not like Hark himself is in any hurry to set the record straight. Not to mention, even if he isn't guilty of stealing, murder is a worse crime, and there's no way he's washing that stain away. True enough, no matter what came before, he should be made to pay the price for his crimes. Alright, I've asked everything I wanted to ask. I'll let you two get back to work. Thanks for your help. It was nothing. Besides, the Curatorian's been kind to us. It's the least we could do. Stay alert, kid. Don't let that rusty old scrap of metal scratch you. Alright. Well, that one's taken care of. So that's going to be it for now, and I'll see you guys later.